Hello everyone, and by everyone I mean anybody that's watching this video. My general subject on this one is basically just going to be about lock picking and how if you get into lock picking like I have, you're going to tend to talk about it to people that you know. You might demonstrate it, and then eventually you're going to infect some people. Some people are going to want to take one of your picks. They're going to want to open a lock that you just opened. My advice would be, if it's an easy lock and it's and you're picking and you happen to have something, use one of your strongest picks that you wouldn't mind losing if somebody messes it up, because newbies tend to be very abusive with picks. So if you tell someone, hey, they say, I'd really like to try that, let me try that, and you say, no, it's not as easy as it looks, you're going to mess up my pick. No, I'm going to be careful. I've heard that before. I've had people damage picks, and then what are you going to do? You gave it to them, and you didn't have to give it to them, but you've messed up now a perfectly good pick, and it's kind of like a bitter experience for you, because it's like they abused your tools, but you were kind of asking for it. And it's what I say is it's an infection, is because if that person that you hand that lock to has been watching you and listening to you and saying, I couldn't do that, that's impossible, these are locks and stuff like that, and they go through the whole morality of it's illegal, and if I did that I might get into trouble. Hey, you know what? I am just trying to be an instructor and trying to convey what I've learned to someone. The morality part of it, I'll give them the guidelines of ethical conduct and everything, but you know what? You're an adult, and if you need me to tell you that you shouldn't open up somebody else's lock and you shouldn't use this illegally, man, you can't blame that shit on me if you start a life of crime. Well, I was watching one of William's videos and he showed me, no, man, most people leave a disclaimer and say you can't do that. What I'm telling you, what this is good for me for, is I'm not going to be that old guy doing crossword puzzles or some other useless shit, I want to learn something that's entertaining and has a wide variety. Man, if you get into opening, let's say, a master lock, and that's one that leads to your infection, that first pop, when you go, oh man, I like this shit. Some people are just going to approach it casually, man. I get in deep into something like, if I like opening up locks, man, I'm going to try to open up every lock there is that I can get a hold of. Some of them I'm not going to have any success with, but you know what? Maybe one day I'll have the skills to open it. I'm not going to throw it away or give up, But that thrill, if you pop that and you don't get a thrill, then lock picking's not for you, It's not for everybody, Some people like knitting, some people like doing other things that require a bunch of people. This, to me, is therapy, because I tell you what, if you've ever had PTSD, which I've had, I've had it twice in my life that I know of, maybe more. Sometimes when shit gets stressful to you, and you're ready to just fucking blow, you want to go, you want to just, do something crazy, something that's going to either harm yourself or someone else. You know what? If you could have a relief, if you could have something like, you know what? Life is a lock. Things are impossible. They're telling me I can't do this. They're telling me that you need a key. You need to follow rules. You need to do this. You need to do that. You know what? I don't need to do any of that shit. I just need to get by. I need to survive. And I'm going to break it all down into, can I open this lock without a key? You do that, everything else is simple for me. It sounds stupid. It sounds simplistic. But now I have something, a new hobby, something that I enjoy. I try opening different levels of securities of locks. I get into different ways of opening locks. Some are considered like bypasses and other things you're not allowed to discuss in some areas, only because the reasoning behind that is they don't want to make it easy for some criminal who's going to come up there and say, wow, I didn't know that was that easy to do. Look at this. And then you're kind of like an accomplice or something to a crime. Not really, you know. I mean, it's just information, and you put it up there as long as you put a disclaimer that, hey, you know, this may be illegal in some areas and all this other stuff. You're not a lawyer, you know. I mean, you're not going to be held liable for all of this shit. I mean, Bosnian Bill, a lot of other people put stuff up there, you know. He's just using it for, you know, trying to get people to use it for legal purposes, but you have no control over what consists of the public, all right? So when you put something up in public, that's what happens. I don't want to make this last forever, but, you know, you can get into then disassembling locks, you know. You get this little kid over here. You can try Chinese locks. You can try building your own picks. You get tired of waiting for picks to arrive, you know. And then, like this example of the flame, you may discover something just from building picks that nobody else has done that I know of, you know. I mean, on this one, I was sitting there trying to make a Bogota, and if anybody has ever tried it, it looks simple. You know, you just make some little ridges. Guess what? It's not as easy as it looks. It's easy to mess that up. And that's how I did this one. I was making a triple peak, and look how far off from a triple peak that was. So I had salvaged one peak, and I was trying to incorporate the zip design of this at the very end. Alright, that's where this changed a little bit. It looks kind of like an extended snake, which we have here I've ordered just because I thought I saw the flame profile in it. You see how it, but the angle on the extended snake comes up a little bit higher, and this is, like I said, a hybrid. I'm incorporating part of a Bogota, admittedly, not much, one hump, you know, but it was the whole profile of a Bogota originally, and then I did all this over here. Now, what does this all mean? Well, you know, I had fun. I designed something that I like. I like this pick that I designed because it opened up 17 of my own locks. It's made from windshield wiper blade, and it was an accident. I was going to throw it away at first, and I said, nah, I spent too much time on it. Now I sent this overseas to England. Somebody's going to try it on European locks, you know, and who knows, you know, it may become the next thing that a major manufacturer picks up, like Sparrows or something. They may say, man, who made that? I don't want to call it the William Taw or whatever. I call it the Flame Pick because one of my aliases or whatever is Blaze 420 24/7. If I've got to explain that to you, then you've been living under a rock. But anyways, this pick was named the Flame, which goes along with Blaze, and I think it's a pretty good name. And the person that suggested the name, I made this copy for him, and I gave it to him, sent it over to him, simply because he contributed to this in a way in that he was interested in it. He inspired me to continue this, and I have a lot of inspiration. Lock Noob was the one that originally started me on this path of making wiper blade tension inserts, wiper blade inserts as tension tools, which led to me realizing that, hey, they're already the thickness of the keyway, you know, pretty much. You may have to thin them down a little bit, like in this case it was a little bit thick, but, you know, you can get into all kinds of things, and your brain is not going to be stagnant, and you have a relief. You know, you get into different handles and types of, you know, ways around. You can occupy your mind for a long time. You won't get bored. It can be an expensive habit, you know, like you'll sometimes you can get dysfunctional in it. You've got to pick a lock. Like me, I can't go very long without picking a lock because I don't know, man. Even if I pick lock like this one a bunch of times, I love picking that one. This one, I paid $10. Why? Because it said it was security level number 9. All right, and I mean that's their version of security level number 9. It's not my version of number 9. I would consider a Medico or something like that to be at least up there on that scale. Anyways, enjoy yourself. Lockpicking can be therapy. It can also be a disease that you're spreading to other people. Don't worry about the morality of it. You know, just give them the simple rules of only work on your own locks and don't use the locks that you rely on, like your keys, for your doorway or your ignition. You don't want to screw that up learning how to, you've learned how to start an automotive ignition, and you've also screwed up your automotive ignition, and unless you can replace it, you just cost yourself a bunch of money. Get yourself a lock, buy a lock separately of the design that you want to attack. Like if you're always looking at these padlocks, but it's on your neighbor's, thing, and he won't let you mess with it, and, it's pretty cheap. You can get them at yard sales and stuff, or eBay. I mean, you can get it. You can reduce your addiction cost, is what I'm trying to say. But I think it's therapeutic. I think it's helpful. If it keeps you from catching a felony or going to jail or hurting yourself or someone else, then hey, who are you harming? No one. So again, I didn't want this to go too long, and it's already 11 minutes. And only a couple locks I've opened, but the disadvantage to all of this is once you start seeing locks, you might start thinking you can open every lock, or that locks are just talking to you and challenging you. Hey, you can't open me. Well, you know what? If it's somebody else's lock and you don't have permission, you're not a locksmith, or you're not working for the military, you're not doing a penetration test or whatever, then you know what? You can't open that, because the lock is saying you can't open them. He's trying to challenge you. You can open up a master lock, okay? Any of these stupid master locks. You can do it, so don't even risk your freedom over some bullshit that a voice in your head is trying to get you to do. Anyways, not everyone's as crazy as I am, and this is just my thoughts on this stuff. You won't necessarily go down the path of trying to buy or make every pick that there is out there, or trying to open every lock that you've ever seen or will see in your future. And something just posted, and that's going to come in the audio, so I should cut this off. Everyone have a good day. I'm supposed to go to work today, and I've only got like 2 more hours left before my freedom is over, and I have to go to the hellhole known as Ratco. Don't let your job or your life or anything bring you down so far that you have no joy in life, Get into something. I would recommend lockpicking with just a few exceptions. It's not for everybody. You have to have patience. And if you don't get a thrill off that first lock pop, then it's not for you, really. Don't even pursue it anymore. Go find something else, like, I don't know, darts or some other hobby that you get into. Sorry for boring everyone. This is, 13 minutes of me just rambling on again. But I did talk about locks.